Make sure to follow the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference on our website, rmacsports.org. Now, back to the RMAC Radio Show.
Welcome back to the RMAC Radio Show. Eric Danner with you. As we mentioned, the RMAC Cross Country Championships were held this past week at Willis Case Golf Course in Denver, hosted by Regis University. And for the first time since 2001, the Western State Mountaineers come away with both the men's and women's championships. Running down the top team scores on the women's side, Regis University, the host, finishes number 5. Colorado School of Mines was 4th. Metro State was number 3. Senia Flores finishes 9th in the race. Adams State was number 2, and then Western State was number 1. Only 4 team points separating Adams and Western. Lauren Kleppen was the women's champion. She ran a great race, 21:12 for the 6K. Alicia Nelson of Adams State was second at 21:28. Kelly Lamb finishes third for Adams State. Second place finisher for Western was Sarah Lyle. On the men's side, 5th place goes to Metro State. Then 4th place goes to Bob DeVries in New Mexico Highlands. 3rd place was the Colorado School of Mines. Sean Gildea, who we talked to on the RMAC Showcase after a second place finish in the Rust Buster. He finishes 7th at the conference championships. 2nd place goes to Adams State. Nathaniel Sellers finishes 2nd overall. In the RMAC champions, Western State College, they win by 3 points over Adams State. We're now joined on the RMAC hotline by the head coach of the Mountaineers. Her name is Jennifer Michel. Coach Michel, how's it going today?
I'm doing very well. Real busy here getting things sorted for the next couple of weeks, so I appreciate you making some time for me.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. Quite a weekend for you. As we just mentioned, 2001 was the last time Western State swept the RMAC championships, and then you have to go back to 1995 to have Western State sweeping the individual championships. Coming into this meet, did you have an idea that you would be able to walk away with all that hardware?
Well, we always want to run well at the RMAC champs, and as I told the athletes, this is the time of year where it counts. It's the championship season, and being in Denver, where a lot of our alumni and fans are, and where a lot of my athletes are from the Denver metro area, so it was special to have them be able to compete near home for a lot of them and to run well. And so we knew anything was possible, but I guess I would not have put money on being able to pull off the 2 individuals and 2 teams, which I'll put on a sidebar. We were looking through results. I think that's the first time in school history where we have done where we have completed the team sweep as well as the 2 individual titles.
Wow, we're talking with Jennifer Michel, the head men's and women's cross-country coach at Western State. She was named Coach of the Year on both the men's and the women's this past weekend, and sweeping all the awards, as she mentioned, could have been first time in school history, and given the history of Western State, quite an accomplishment. You mentioned some of these runners running in front of their hometown fans, so to speak. Tyler Pinnell, a kid from Golden, Colorado, not too far from Willis Case Golf Course where the championships were held. And I know this was a kid, he was injured, I believe, last year, Coach, and there was some question whether or not he might get that extra year of eligibility, which he did. And what has he meant to the team this year?
Well, just having his maturity and experience back has definitely been a blessing. He's had a rocky last couple of years. He ran well this last spring. He was a runner-up in the NCAA with the 5K, but he's been close so many times. He's never won a championship or anything memorable like the RMAC meet for cross country. So it was nice for a senior to have that, since he has been so close, and he's been really patient and smart with the training this year. It's still been a challenge. He's student teaching, so he's running his workouts and his training, and we've got a late group with him, but he's doing a lot of his mileage on his own during the week, and then we only get him a couple days a week with everybody together. So that's what the last couple of weeks have been focused, of trying to get those men close together and get them running in their packs, just because with some people's class workload as well as his student teaching, we're very limited in being able to do that.
Talking with Jennifer Michel from Western State, the Mountaineers winning the men's and women's team championships at the RMAC Championships at Willis Case Golf Course this past weekend. Lauren Kleppen, what a race she ran. She, right from the start on the 6K, was in the lead, and she finished very strong. 21:12 is her time. Alicia Nelson of Adams finished second at 21:28. Lauren, I mean, is that about as good a race as you can run in that championship?
Yes, she's been running really well all year. She's been consistent. Her workouts have been great, but she's, her mileage has been pretty high, and so, she was running really tough, and we knew we needed to go for it. We knew the Adams girls had a few girls that were really going to be able to step up, and so, that was the goal, is for her to be able to take the lead and run comfortably up front. But that course didn't end up being anything comfortable. It was a challenge, and it was a very good course.
Talking with Jennifer Michel, and just a couple of weeks from now, on Saturday, November 5th, the NCAA Regional Cross Country Championships are going to be held in Denver at Wash Park, the same place we had the RMAC Championships a few years ago when Metro State hosted. And Coach, it seems like the past few years you've had to go to Wayne, Nebraska. I think Kearney hosted before that. So it's got to be kind of nice to not have to go as far. And as you mentioned, a lot of your athletes are from that Denver area as well. Yes. So that bodes pretty well for Western State.
It does. We've got a lot of alumni that were at the meet, and they're all excited to come back in 2 weeks as well. And just to be able to be in Colorado, period, to run a NCAA championship meet in our state and be able to have a lot of fans.
Talking with Jennifer Michel, and I know one of the changes for you, Coach, the past couple of years is not only are you coaching, but you've got a little girl to take care of there with your husband, and and what has that meant? How has that changed as far as your coaching goes, or maybe some of your perspective on things?
It does put a perspective, a whole another light on that. Gianna is just a little over a year, so she's starting to run around, and it's just really special to me to have my husband Brian Wickenhauser be able to travel to some of the races and have Gianna be around the team and be at some competitions. He works at home, so he's got her during a lot of the day. And then sometimes she'll come to the office for a little while with me. So it's definitely a balancing, and it's a whole nother definition of teamwork, and make sure you put your priorities straight. But it is, being a mother is very special.
Well, Coach, again, congratulations on a great weekend. You get Coach of the Year, you win the team championships, and your runners win the individual championships. I guess can't get much better than that, and want to wish you good luck the rest of the way.
I thank you very much, Eric, to you and your staff, and thanks for a great meet this last weekend.
All right, that is Jennifer Michel, the head men's and women's cross-country coach at Western State. And for those of you keeping track, she is the first female to get a Men's Coach of the Year award. She did that nationally a few years ago, first time this has happened in cross-country. Also had a big weekend in volleyball, East Division in particular, as Metro State was able to knock off Colorado Mines in 5 sets. They were down 2-0, and it came back to win 3-2. And Kearney's right there. They've won 10 in a row. And for more on what's going to be happening in RMAC volleyball this upcoming weekend, let's head over to Chris Polton at the RMAC Sports Desk.
Thanks, Eric. Metro State slowed down the Colorado Mines steamrolling Ore Diggers, and now this weekend they will have a chance to knock off the UNK Lopers. On Friday night, the Roadrunners host Chadron State, who is still without a conference win. On Saturday, it will be the Lopers facing off against the Roadrunners, which could be a potential preview of the RMAC Championship. Those matches are at the Aurora Event Center in Denver, Colorado. Regis also gets those same two teams on opposite nights. The Rangers are just one game ahead of Colorado Christian for the final playoff spot in the East. Those matches at the Regis Fieldhouse, also in Denver. In the West, CSU Pueblo and Adams State sit on top in first with 8-6 records. The Grizzlies have Western State on Friday night, and then the Thunderwolves, which looks to be the biggest match of the year in the West Division, on Saturday night. Those matches will be played at Plackey Hall. Colorado Mesa, just a half game back of the Cowgirls, hosts Western New Mexico on Friday night, and then have a huge matchup against New Mexico Highlands on Saturday night. Both matches are in Grand Junction, and both will be 7 p.m. starts. For all of your volleyball scores and standings, make sure to check out rmacsports.org. I'm Chris Polton, and that has been your volleyball update.
Thank you, Chris. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up with Andy Schlichting, the Sports Information Director at Metro State. You're listening to the RMAC Radio Show.